Boys, do you remember that one series I nearly crashed on this YouTube account? I swear to God, that's my old car. Look, oh, I don't want to show the reg because I was driving like a bit of a twat. Look, the tints, everything, that's my car. That's actually amazing. I didn't even think it was still in the city. Now this car I got scammed on, bro. Well, actually, I'll let you lot be the judge of that. So I've done a previous video like this. I managed to actually phone the previous owner and he told me some horror stories about that car. It was from Bradford.
That depends, innit? What do you describe or determine a crash as, innit? Like
that car drove alright though. The only issues was its history. It wasn't HPI clear, it'd been in accidents. This one here is the opposite. On paper it's fine, but when you drive it, it's just got issues. It's also got 10 previous owners that have owned it before me. We've managed to speak to none of its previous owners simply because I reckon this car is just harder to recognize. It's more common. That Scirocco was very distinctive, pretty easy to recognize it. This one not so much. So I'm going to show you these videos of the issues. So there's the start up. How do I explain this to someone? Obviously I'm used to it, but how do I look? Here we go. This is gonna go on now. That's issue number one. It only does it on a cold start, so it won't do it now. Then there's the issue in there, bro, the turbo issue. Last time I filmed this, someone complained it's raining. Why'd you care that it's raining? It's like you should have bought an umbrella then, innit, mate? I know what you mean though, but it might affect the 0 to 60, but trust me, something else is affecting my 0 to 60. Oh, how do I tape this thing, man? Don't ask about the boiled eggs either. This is when I first noticed something's wrong. With the car, not me. Yo, you're kind of putting me off, love. All these cameras and duct tape. She probably thinks I'm doing something a bit 18 plus, mate. Oh, how am I gonna turn the wheel? Actually, I'm contemplating quitting this whole career, mate. What do I even do on here, bro? I drive the same car every day. You lot probably do that, like, and don't film it. Yeah, that'll do, man. Yo, man to man, where's the speed lap timer? Oh, I can time my lap. Go on. Oh, but then I can't see my speed. Oh, there's a speeder right there. I forgot. Look, we'll do it manually, innit? Oh, this is dodgy, mate. You lot always wanted a foot cam. There you go. Oh, you knobhead. Nah, this is just flopped. I don't think there can be a worse camera angle for zero. I just wanted to film a 0 to 60. That's it. Wow. I reckon we whack it there. Oh, brother, can I not just screen record that screen in the middle? Does anyone know if I can get OBS from OBD11 and screen record that? Screen record the dash, the non-digital dash. Now, let me eat this egg. Then we'll do 0 to 60, mate. Where you gonna put the shell? McDonald's cup, mate. What do you know about these ones, mate? Eggs on the go. That's what a yoke needs to look like. That texture. Perfect. Everything's off. Traction's off. Ready? 0 to 60. See what I mean about the rain not affecting it? 50. It's struggling. 60. What you reckon to that, boys? So as you can see, actually, you know what? I got a 1.4 petrol, no turbo at home. We're gonna compare the two. That will confirm that this 2 litres moving like a 1.6, and that's an insult to 1.6. Right, this is a CIB for not a quick car. This one's got Temu tyres as well, and it's raining. We're looking at a pretty slow 0 to 60. The best I can do. Okay, this is a slow car. 40 and 60. Now we're going to speak to the guy who I bought the car off. He got angry at me for some reason. But before we do that, I'm going to tell you about my experience when we actually bought it. Like, what actually happened? How did I get scammed this bad? Bye-bye, my love. Be good. Like you were with me. I used to batter that thing. Listen, boys, welcome back. I drove it properly. Good car that though, 118. So me and my cousin, we were out in his car and we had intentions to buy another car, a cheapo car. And then this Golf, what I'm driving now, it came up, it was listed in Birmingham, so I thought, let's just text him. I asked him if we can come view the car now, and he replied instantly. He said, yeah, it was on Facebook. And I said, alright, cool, bang on then. And the car was on for was it 5 or 5,500? I've asked him for the address, he's given me a Coventry address. So I've said, brother, it says you're in Birmingham, I'm in Birmingham. I think you've got a VPN, mate. And he goes, nah, he lives in Birmingham, but he's at his family relative's party or something, I don't know. Selling it while it's in use, bro. How the hell is he gonna get home? But anyway, we go to this address in Coventry. It was back towards ours anyway. And we're looking where we arrived to the address, and there's houses have no driveways, and the car's also not on the street. So already it's looking a bit sketchy. You know, when you buy cars from like the petrol station, or they sell it to you in the Sainsbury's car park, it's usually to deflect comebacks, so you don't know as a customer where you can find them. But then I've knocked on the door, and this really happy guy opens the door. He's an Asian guy, he's got a Birmingham accent, but he's one of the good ones. He's actually one of the good ones in it. He shows me the logbook, 10 previous owners. So I've looked at the brother, and he goes, look bro, it is what it is. I've told him a bunch of stuff, like the car's not really reasonably priced, considering it's got half of Birmingham and Bradford have had a run in it. This is literally Bonnie blue. Look how shiny the steering wheel is. That's how many man have touched it. You know when it's that shiny, you're better off scrapping the car. He actually let us go out in the car without him. We test the car, it's genuinely fine. It's alright. The turbo was working. So we've come back. I told him some issues with the car, that there was some cosmetic issues here and there, like that window button don't work. And he goes, alright brother, what do you want to pay? I think I said 4. He goes, no. And I said, how much higher do you want to go? And he says, give me another price. I said 4,250, and he shook on it. That's £1,250 off in 30 seconds, which is a pretty big red flag. Why the hell has he come down so easily? I remember me and my cousin, we looked at each other like, rah. That was either we're having some very good luck today, or there's some dead body in the boot. Anyway, the guy was genuinely nice. I know it had a high amount of owners, but because the guy was genuine as one, and he'd owned the car for 1.5 years, which I saw on the logbook, and it was HPI clear. It doesn't mean it's not been in an accident, but it holds its value a bit better if it's HPI clear. We just thought, well, yeah, whatever, man. Okay, go on, we'll give it a turn. We love to take a risk. Usually people just lie, yeah, I'm at a family function. My man was actually at the family function and invited us in. We had rice, we had lasagna, we had his nephews. And then we said, like, we actually need to go, like, we needed to go home, innit? The grandma comes out. Bro, the grandma comes out with like some jelly thing. Before you know it, we're having dessert. After dessert, we're having tea. Obviously my man's gone in his little room to count the cash. We're just chilling with the family, and honestly I felt like that's my family more than my family. Like, they're actually talking to us. This is why I bought the car, man. It seemed genuine. We're talking to all the kids are there, and then he's got his wife there as well, and then like a bunch of like oldies, pensioners, we're chatting to them as well. Genuinely, everyone's being really nice. We're in this family home. I'm driving it, and the whole family comes out and like waving goodbye. Like, you know what I mean? Like, took their child away from them like I'm RSPCA or something. Day I took it home, it's just been giving me problems, man. I got scammed on that as well. I'm back, by the way. Bro, this video is gonna make me look like such a bad track record. I got scammed on that car. The mileage was 200,000, but the guy I bought it off told me it was 100 and something, and I didn't even bother checking. I didn't scam him, he knew about the mileage. He bought it for dirt cheap. Where the hell is he? I want to actually speak to him. If I find him, I'll get him in the video. But he's just nowhere to be seen. Anyway, I'm going to show you the conversation I had with the guy I bought this off. I don't really know what I was expecting. I knew he wouldn't pay because of it. I just wanted to see what he says. I don't know what I wanted him to say. All I'm saying is we got humbled, boys. We definitely lost this argument. So I've said, yes, brother, hope you're good. You've been following the vids on the car. Hi, yes, video was really well put together. Glad you're enjoying the car. All right, so he's obviously seen that I'm making videos, but he's not seen the specific videos of this being broken down. He's glad I'm enjoying the car. I told him, not really, bro. I've been having some issues with the car. Then I sent him the issues I've been having. He just put sorry to hear. The turbo is also failed. To be honest, been down on power since the day I took it from yours, and fuel pump failing too. No way, sorry to hear. I think he's sorry to hear, mate. So then I ask him if I can call him says he's at work, so I say when I can call, then he goes off on a tangent, mate, which confirms I'm not getting any compensation. So get ready for this, boys. I said the car was sold as seen, as I'm not a mechanic. You've also been driving the car rough on the videos that I watched, and with all the taken into consideration, the car is your problem, not mine. Didn't even manage to get a bloody word in, bro. Didn't let me speak. Had I known about these issues, I'd have got them repaired, which reassures me that happened after my sale due to your driving. Seems a bit personal, this, mate. My intention was pure, otherwise why would I have invited you to my home with my family and nephews? It was nephews, still your family. I think you need to have the car repaired yourself. You tested the car, I let you and your friend try it, and you mentioned none of these issues. You also mentioned lots of other issues in exclamation, like he thinks I'm lying, which you obviously made up to get the price down. Oh, fair enough. But mention nothing about these. Respectfully, brother, this is no longer my matter to deal with. You bought the car almost a month ago. He showed me. Oh, not finished. And to be honest, my wife was worried about you guys anyway. It's nothing personal. You and your friend met the whole family and you was polite, and we recognise that. But you didn't send us proof of ownership change like you agreed to. My wife didn't sleep because of this. You never insured or taxed the car the day you bought it. Doesn't sound anything like us. And overall, it was a weird experience. Honestly, I think you were trying to get some compensation. The car is old and you should know it's a risk when you bought it. That's just the cost of owning a car like that. Sorry. Smiley face. Bro, it's a GTD, not a GT3 RS. But that's not the end of the messages, mate. If you had these problems closer to when you took the car, I'd have bought it back from you and apologise. You've left it a month. I sympathise with you, as it's not a nice situation to be in, and I can see you're hard-working young lads, but that's just how it goes. Being young doesn't make you naive. You boys 100% know what you're doing. I'm not accusing you of lying. I think it's a problem that's happened too late after sale. I'm going to end the conversation here. Hope you get it sorted. He could not care less if I get it sorted. I didn't reply after that. I think it's fair to say that we've lost fair and square. Fair enough to him. He's got a good price, sold me a car with no turbo, sold me a 1.6 diesel.